First of all, why do we say that we have a low productivity in India? See, for rice, if I say, which is one of the dominant crop of India, we produce around 2,400 to 2,000.
Hello and welcome to ICRA IAS. Okay, so we will be discussing our weekly compilation, that is the last week of April and the first 2 days of May, month May, year 2021. So basically, you all know that we do this current affair compilation, and I must tell you, this current affair compilation is basically very important for prelims. It is very important for prelims. Okay, so you should be going through it without a doubt. Kindly go through it, but you can be a bit selective in this aspect also, then it will be very good for you. Okay, so let's start our discussion. That is, the first topic is Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Hub. So basically, recently they have conducted the fifth session on this, done this fifth session on Codex Committee on Spices virtually. Okay, so let's start what actually this committee is related to. So basically, this was established in 2013, and with the support of more than 100 countries. So it is like an intergovernmental type, not actually related to the government, but it is actually supported by international bodies. Committee है ये, तो ज़्यादा support है इसे under the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Okay, now what is actually Codex Alimentarius Commission? So this is a commission that is established in 1963. It is an intergovernmental body, and it is established jointly by FAO and WHO. That is, both are the union body, United Nations body. Okay, and they have established it was established within the framework. Now this commission established within the framework of Joint Food Standard Program. Okay, so within this committee is actually doing the fifth online session related to the culinary and spices. Okay, and the objective that they have is to develop and expand the worldwide standard for the spices and the culinary hubs. Okay, basically they are doing this to you can say to have a better standard of a standard developmental process for, and they should be consulted, and it is very important in this context. Now India is a host country in this. The Spice Board in India is actually acting as a secretariat for organizing the session of the committees. Okay, since its inception, the committee has been successful in developing the harmonized global codex standard for the spices and the herbs. Okay, for the spices and the herbs. Now, what objective does the Codex Alimentarius Commission has? They have they have to establish an international food standard. Okay, to protect the health of the consumer. So that is the primary focus in that. To ensure the fair practices in the food trade, related to the trade practices, and especially while promoting the coordination between the different different food standard work undertaken by international government and the NGOs. They actually promoting the coordination between them. Okay, and and the member of the commission, for this commission we have, it is open to all member and associate member of the FNO. Okay, the countries who are interested in this international food can be a member of CAC. Okay, the Food Program Commission is actually this program of work. The commission is funded through the regular budget of the WTO and FAO. So they are actually budgeted by there, and all the work are subjected to the approval of the two governmental bodies, that is the parent organization. Okay, so it is like a very standard practicing safely food production, their trade, that should be done. So malpractices does not happen in these cases. Next is United Nations Economic and Social Council. Okay, why this is news? Because India has been elected for the 3 key bodies of the UN ECOSOC. ठीक है, ECOSOC से These bodies is actually, you can say, these bodies actually are the Commission on the Prevention of Criminal Justice. Okay, that is an executive board of women, UN Women, executive board of World Food Program. Now, what is actually ECOSOC? It was established in 1945. It is one of the 6th main organ of the UN. So that is very important to remember. Okay, the other organ like UNSC, UNGA, Trusteeship Council, IJC, ICJ, International Court of Justice, and the UN Secretariat. So these are the 5, and the 6th one is this one. Okay, and their aim is to serve as a forum for discussion. So it is a discussion forum for international economic and social issues, and it works towards formulating the policies, recommending the policy recommendation addressed to the member state and the union nation system. Okay, in this board, in this council, we have a 54 member, and UNGA will be elect them for the 3 years term. So 3 year term के लिए इनको elect किया जाता है, यूनाइटेड नेशन जनरल असेंबली elect करती है. Now Commission on the Crime and Criminal Justice. Okay, तो this is a functional commission of, ये actually इसकी functional body है, किसकी? UNECOSOC की functional body है. Purpose क्या है इनका? Basically primary organ है, they provide a guidelines, you can guide the activity that is related to the criminal justice system, or how to prevent crime. If the crime is happened, how the justice delivery system should be there. Okay, and for that they have a different membership. Right now there are 40 members. 40 members are the elected by the ECOSOC. Okay, so their member has been elected by the this ECOSOC, and ECOSOC के member कहाँ से elect होते हैं? United Nation General Assembly से elect होते हैं. ठीक है, kindly remember this, because this body CCPJC is actually within that is ECOSOC के अंदर है. ठीक है, अब यूनाइटेड नेशन वुमेन के बारे में थोड़ा जान लीजिए आप. इट इज़ डेडिकेटेड टू द जेंडर इक्वालिटी एंड एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ वुमेन. ओके, इट इज़ अ ऑल वुमेन बॉडी एक्चुअली, and it was established in 2010, accelerated the progress of the meeting of women needs worldwide. Okay, there are right now 41 member. Okay, executive board of women consists of 41 member. Now World Food Program, now ये program है क्या? And it is a very important program because this program is already asked in the UPSC, so kindly remember this program. So both FAO and UNGC founded the World Food Program in 1961. Their main purpose is actually to eradicate hunger and malnutrition, and ultimate objective is actually to eliminate the need for food aid itself. मतलब जो फूड के लिए जो अफ्रीकन कॉन्टिनेंट में, एशियन कॉन्टिनेंट में जो कंट्रीज़ को प्रोवाइड करते हैं ये लोग, यूएन वाले एड जो प्रोवाइड करते हैं फूड सिक्योरिटी, फूड के लिए, सो हंगर को एलिमिनेट करना, पॉवर्टी को एलिमिनेट करने के लिए, तो वो एक्चुअली अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव कि ये एड ही ख़त्म हो जाए ताकि लोग सेल्फ सफिशिएंट हो जाएं, हंगर और पॉवर्टी प्रॉपरली एलिमिनेट हो जाए वर्ल्ड से. ओके, दैट इज़ देयर अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव. ओके, सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? इट इज़ अ मेंबर ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशन डेवलपमेंटल ग्रुप के मेंबर है. ओके, मेंबर कहाँ से आते हैं इसके? एग्जीक्यूटिव बोर्ड है of WTO consists of 36 member state member, and they provide intergovernmental support provide करते हैं, policy direction supervision के लिए भी देखते हैं लोग. Okay, they have this one, you can say the UN support also, funding support also. Apart from this, there are the voluntary donations also from the different governments, world government, and cooperation private donors भी है इसमें. will entirely be fund and operation on the USA. ठीक है, और वर्ल्ड फूड प्रोग्राम को 2020 में नोबल पीस प्राइज़ भी मिला है. दैट इज़ द रीज़न इट बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर आवर एग्जाम. ओके, स्पेशली पीटी. सो अनदर टॉपिक, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर प्रोहिबिशन ऑफ केमिकल वेपन, OPCW. ओके, सो बेसिकली you all know that chemical weapon is a growing threat for the human, because country is actually compiling using the chemical weapon. Recently you can say Syrian government has been accused of using the chemical weapon on its people. Okay, they say that they did not use. Some say that they use in the for the rebels. Okay, in the country. So for that we have that how this prohibition can be made for the use of the chemical weapon. Now, India, why this is news? Because India's CAG, that is GC Murmu, has been selected as an external auditor of OPCW. That is the reason this becomes important for our prelims. Okay, he has been actually given a term of 3 years, and that will be starting in 2021. Now, India, apart from this, India has also been selected as a member of Executive Council of OPCW, and India does not represent only its own country, but it also represents as a Asian group for the 2-year term. Okay, during the OPCW conference of the state parties. So Asia को भी represent करता है India. Now what is this? Actually, it is an intergovernmental organization है ये. It is responsible to implementing body है, responsible to implement the chemical weapon convention. जो हमने chemical weapon convention जो sign किया है उसमें in 1997 में that came into force in 1997 में उसको implement करने का responsibility इनके पास में है, OPCW के पास में. Okay, and it has 193 member right now. इनका विजन है to have a world free of chemical weapon. That is very important to remember. Free of chemical weapon by implementing all the provisions of the chemical weapon convention के. ठीक है. Apart from this, ये इनका aim है. Objective क्या है? That is destroying all the existing chemical weapon. जितनी भी existing chemical weapon है, ठीक है, वो सारे destroy करना है under the international verification. और ऐसे नहीं कि country ने बोल दिया कि now we do not have any chemical weapon stock, but that has to be verified by the international organizations. Okay, they will also monitor the chemical industries to prevent from, once it has been declared, that does not mean that now we are not going to monitor you, but they are also going to monitor, supervise that, so that re-emergence of chemical stockpilation does not happen in the country. Okay, and providing assistance, they provide the assistance, assistance protection to the state party, whoever the member it is, against the chemical threat. Wherever there is a chemical threat, they provide the protection, they provide the assistance to deal with such kind of a situation. Okay, so these are the objectives. They also foster the international cooperation and strengthen the implementation of convention promoting the peace use of chemistry. So it is often seen that the chemistry or the you can say the chemical weapon are made in the chemical industries. So basically they are using so that the chemical formulas and all that should not be misused. They also do that. Internationally they cooperate. Okay, अब OPCW के पास में power क्या क्या है? They are authorized to perform the inspection, to verify the signatory, to verify that the signatories are compiling with the convention. So they have the authority to inspect that particular area. It can also perform the testing sites. They can also investigate testing site, the victim of suspected chemical weapon attack, and they have a member, 98 member. India is also a member in that. This organization are located in the Hague, Netherlands. Okay, and OEPC को 2013 में नोबेल पीस प्राइज मिला था. Okay, for their effort. UN के साथ में कैसा रिलेशन है इसका? OPEC is not a UN organization. UN से बाहर है ये. ठीक है, kindly remember that this is a very important thing. It is away from it is not under United Nations organization. However, in 2011, the relationship agreement between OEPC and the UN, the OEPC reports on its inspection and other activities to the UN through its Office of General Secretary. So उन्होंने एक बार report submit किया था, but does not mean that they function under the UN. They are actually outside of the UN. They are functioning independently. Okay. Next is, now this is not very important for our prelims perspective. So you read this information, that is Health Ministry has said that the breakthrough information rate is low for both Covaxin and Covishield. So it is okay. This question might not ask in the UPSC exam. Okay, but if you want to have an information on that, you can have an information. There is no problem in that. Okay, so kindly read it. Second is world freedom. Sorry, this is not the topic for this. ये इसका topic नहीं है. topic is this oxygen concentrator. So you might be aware that in the recent time the price of the oxygen concentrator has been shoot or increased remarkably, ठीक है, because of the crisis. There was few agitation was also there, and few demands by the government from the government was that people and the activists were demanding that the import duty on the oxygen concentrator should be reduced. That is the case with the you can say we are importing heavily from China. Okay, the import duty should be reduced. Okay, so let's see, the demand has been rise especially by the patient जो भी basically जो यहाँ पे home isolation में है या hospital यहाँ पे oxygen availability नहीं है. So oxygen concentrator actually है क्या, what is it? So it is actually a medical device है. वो क्या करता है कि ऑक्सीजन फिल्टर करता है. It takes the air from the atmosphere, it filter the oxygen, it keep the oxygen with itself, it return back the nitrogen back in the atmosphere again. Okay, so what happened in that case, it take the oxygen for itself. Now if we talk about the another question that comes to us, that whether this oxygen is pure or not. So it has a purity of 99.5%. Now if we compare it with the cylinder oxygen, okay, cylinder oxygen that we have, they have the purity of 99%. Okay, that is the case. But one thing is more important, that it is and it can produce ranging from 1 liter oxygen to the 10 liter oxygen per minute. दूसरा ये कि इसके साथ में बहुत स्मॉल मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट लगता है. अनदर इज़ बहुत ज़्यादा इसे उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है. दिस इज सिलेंडर है, यू कैन ओनली गो टू द प्लांट, ऑक्सीजन प्लांट, देन यू कैन रिफिल इट, देन यू कैन गेट इट बैक. ओके, बट इन दिस केस इट इज़ नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. यू कैन यूज़ इट एट द होम ऑल्सो, फॉर हाउस होल्ड यूज़ के लिए भी है, उसे यूज़ किया जा सकता है डोमेस्टिक पर्पज़ के लिए. ठीक है, तो इट इज़ वेरी एफिशिएंट इन दैट केस. ओके, रादर देन यू नो लिक्विड sorry, rather than liquid medical oxygen, that is cylinder based oxygen. Okay, so you read it from this, but this concentrator oxygen actually we cannot use for the ICU patient. ICU patient के लिए advisable नहीं है. ठीक है, however the patient who's जिसका ऑक्सीजन लेवल 85 के नीचे चला गया है, उनके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा एडवाइजेबल है, दे कैन यूज़ इट. ठीक है, क्रिटिकल पेशेंट के लिए हम यूज़ नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि उन्हें कम से कम 45 से 50 लीटर ऑक्सीजन पर मिनट लगता है. इतना ऑक्सीजन जो है ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर डेवलप नहीं कर सकता है. ठीक है, दैट इज़ द प्रॉब्लम. दैट इज़ वन ऑफ द मेजर रीज़न दैट इट नॉट बेसिकली यूज इन द हॉस्पिटल्स. ओके, ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेशन को कोई स्पेशल टेम्परेचर की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. इट कैन यूज़ द जो भी इसका क्या नाम है एनवायरनमेंट में रखा है वहाँ पे यूज़ करके वो यूज़ किया जा सकता है. ओके, सो दिस इज़ द डिफरेंस यू कैन से बिटवीन द ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर एंड द दिस LM, liquid medical oxygen, that we have in the cylindrical form. Now another is it is talking about the exercise Varuna. तो ये किसके साथ में किया है इंडिया ने? फ्रांस नेवी के साथ में. Varuna 2021 that is conducted in the Arabian Sea, and this is the 19th edition so far we are conducting. Okay, ये स्टार्ट हुआ था 1993 में, and since 2001 the exercise is called a Varuna, since 2001. Okay, kindly remember this. It is between two navies. अच्छा, apart from this Indian Navy also perform other exercise or submarine other exercise between India and France. So exercise Garuda is basically between Indian and French Air Force, जिसका first it was held in 2013. Another is exercise Shakti. It is a biennial military exercise है जो कि कंडक्ट होता है फ्रांस के बीच में, एंड स्टार्टेड इन 2011. एक्सरसाइज ला पेरोस, ये भी मिलिट्री मैरीटाइम एक्सरसाइज है, एंड इट इज़ कंडक्टेड बिटवीन फ्रेंच नेवी, लेड बाय फ्रेंच नेवी, और इंडियन नेवी इसे पार्टिसिपेट किया है एक्सरसाइज फर्स्ट टाइम इन 2021 में. ठीक है, तो काइंडली रिमेंबर दिस माइट बी कम फॉर द मैच द फॉलोइंग काइंड ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन. ओके, नाउ another topic is oxygen enrichment technology. So basically it is a new kind of a technology that has been developed by CSIR and CMARI. It is a governmental body. They have indigenously developed the oxygen enrichment technology. It is basically developed to you can use the oxygen concentrator at the higher altitude. Higher altitude में भी इसे यूज़ किया जा सकता है, ठीक है. So let's see what it is. So it is a device that concentrate oxygen from the air, the same like an oxygen concentrator, by selectively removing the nitrogen to supply the oxygen enriched air. Oxygen enriched air. The concentrated oxygen is delivered to the patient heavy respiratory disease के लिए and through the oxygen mask और nasal कैनुला के लिए नसाल कैनुला के थ्रू इसको दिया जा सकता है ऑक्सीजन मास्क. दैट इज़ द सेम केस इज़ विद द ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर के साथ में जिस हम इसे यूज़ करते हैं, ठीक है. इम्पॉर्टेंट ये है कि इट कैन बी यूज एट द रिमोट प्लेसेस ऑल्सो, होम हॉस्पिटल फैसिलिटीज़ फॉर द पेशेंट्स, ठीक है. और क्रोनिक हाइपोसेमिया के लोगों के लिए और पल्मोनरी एंडेमा के लिए भी यूज़ किया जा सकता है, ठीक है. ओके, इसका की फीचर क्या है इसका? बेसिकली यू कैन से द यूनिट वर्क ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ प्रेशर स्विंग एब्जॉर्प्शन. यहाँ पे इट यूटिलाइज जीलोइड. अब ये टेक्नोलॉजी काम कैसे करती है, प्रिंसिपल काम कैसे करता है? इट यूटिलाइज द जीलोइड कॉलम्स टू सिलेक्टिवली रिमूव द नाइट्रोजन फ्रॉम द एयर, ठीक है. तो इसका यूज़ करती है वो, ठीक है, यूज़ करता है मशीन. जीलोइड कॉलम्स को यूज़ करके ऑक्सीजन को बाहर निकालता है फ्रॉम द एयर अंडर सर्टन प्रेशर. within that it develop that pressure within that instrument, thereby increasing the oxygen concentrator, ठीक है. The unit is capable of delivering the medical air ranging from 15 liter per minute with the oxygen purity 90% की प्योरिटी है इसके अंदर, और ये रेंज 70 लीटर्स तक भी जा सकता है पर मिनट, ओके. लेकिन प्योरिटी गिर जाएगी, दैट इज़ 30 मिनट. सो बहुत सीवियर कंडीशन की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी तो ये दिस कैन बी यूज फॉर दैट, ओके, ठीक है. और बहुत ही कमर्शियली वाइबल है, ठीक है, वाइबल डिवाइस है, नॉट वेरी एक्सपेंसिव इन दैट केस, ओके. अब ये प्रेशर स्विंग अडॉप्शन है क्या? ये प्रोसेस होता है बाय द एटमॉस्फेरिक एयर पासेस थ्रू एन इंटरनल फिल्ट्रेशन सिस्टम है. इंटरनली फिल्ट्रेशन सिस्टम के थ्रू पास होता है, इसमें जियोलेट ग्रेनुला और मेम्ब्रेन, ठीक है. दिस सिस्टम हैज़ अ लार्ज इनफ टोटल सरफेस टू सेपरेट द नाइट्रोजन from the air concentration, thus removing the oxygen to know the purity, okay. So this is what we are using it, okay. The another topic is Glow Litter Partnership Project. So basically this is a project for a maritime plastic litter. So tackling the problem of, people have an habit of using the plastic is again a very bad habit. Then that littering that particular ocean. अभी रिसेंटली आपको याद होगा जब चाइना के प्रीमियर इंडिया विजिट किए थे तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी वाज एक्चुअली क्लीनिंग द दैट पर्टिकुलर बीच. तो लिटरिंग इज़ अ बिग प्रॉब्लम. प्लास्टिक लिटरिंग इज़ अ बिग प्रॉब्लम इन द ओशन बिकॉज इट डज नॉट डिकम्पोज. आइदर यू थ्रो इट इनटू द वाटर, द ओशन, डिकम्पोजिशन नहीं होता है उससे, ठीक है. सो अराउंड 30 countries across the ocean have joined the Glow Litter Partnership Project. Now it was launched by the International Maritime Organization, that is IMO and FO, both are UN organization, okay. The government of Norway has also provided the initial funding for the project. Government Norway क्या किया, उसने initial funding provide किया है. अब प्रोजेक्ट का एम क्या है? टू हेल्प द मैरीटाइम ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड फिशिंग सेक्टर टू अडॉप्ट द लो प्लास्टिक फ्यूचर, राइट, रिड्यूस द कंजम्पशन ऑफ प्लास्टिक. टू अचीव दिस गोल द initiative will assist developing the country to apply the best practices, the prevention, reduction, control and all that can be done in this area, okay. 30 countries participating in it and India is also a participating country into it, okay. Significance क्या है? That will be, project will promote the compliance with voluntary guideline of MARPOL convention. Now this is important, MARPOL convention. They might ask you a question on this, ओके, व्हाट इज़ मार्पोल, ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है कि मार्पोल कन्वेंशन किससे रिलेटेड है, ठीक है। तो ये है गाइडलाइन है जो कि हम वी आर डीलिंग विद द प्लास्टिक्स दैट आर देयर इन द सी, ओके। इट कंटेन्स द रेगुलेशन अगेन डिस्चार्जिंग द प्लास्टिक इन द सी, ओके। So kindly remember this, and this is very important. This initiative is also very important. Glow litter plastic is very important for the Sustainable Development Goal 14. Okay, kindly remember this. Let's talk about the Marpol Convention. That is important. So Marpol Convention stands for International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Sea. Is one of the main international convention. इसका aim क्या है? It aim to prevents the population of the marine environment by shipping from operational and accidental costs. Okay, now the convention was adopted by IMO on 2nd of November 1973. Okay, and India is actually a signatory of Marpol Convention. Okay, that is very important to remember. India is a participant, a signatory of it. It has to comply all the provision that is related to it. Now SCRI, or the Supply Chain Resilience Initiative. Actually, this is an initiative taken by 3 countries, that is India, Japan and Australia. Why they have taken this? Because when the pandemic impacted the world, okay, Japan was highly dependent on the import from China. Now what happened in that, when the trade between the countries because of this coronavirus, the trade internationally has dropped. Okay, what happened in that case? In that case, the China's 25% of China's economy got impacted because the trade has been stopped. So to avoid certain kind of a you can say future problem, the 3 countries has adopted the Supply Chain Resilience Initiative. So ये initiative है क्या? It is a capability to supply chain of the country to handle any kind of a disruption and function normally in difficult time. So अगर कोई problem आती भी है, then also they should be functioning very normally. Okay, one approach कैसे हो सकता है? Diversify the source of supply. सबसे अच्छा अप्रोच क्या, आप अपने सप्लाई को डाइवर्सिफाई कर दिए अक्रॉस द ग्रुप, मतलब ग्रुप में ही आप डाइवर्सिफाई कर दिए किससे किसे सप्लाई लेना, इससे नहीं इससे, सो दैट यू डू नॉट गेट इम्पैक्टेड इन अ लार्जर स्केल. Okay, and we are not just dependent on one or few, we are dependent in many things. Okay, so why this is needed, like I have told you, because of the pandemic, and Japan is the best example for this. Okay, 24% of the total import has been impacted. Okay, so this is very important initiative in this particular area. Now let's talk about the initiative. Aim to create a virtuous cycle of enhancing the supply chain resilience. Why? To attain the strong, sustainable, balanced, inclusive growth in the region. Now the initial project under the SCRI will be share the best practices of supply chain resilience. पहला share करना best practices, that is sharing the knowledge. Second, organizing investment promotion event between and the buyer and seller match event भी करना चाहिए ताकि they can easily, the country is not going to do that. The individual, you can say the individual who are doing, the businessmen who are doing it, the business importing and exporting, they will be doing it. So they should be doing it. So their meeting and matchmaking event is very important, so that a very comprehensive kind of an activity can be done. It will provide the stakeholder an opportunity to explore the possibility of diversification of their supply chain. Okay? The possible policy measure may include, possible policy measure क्या include है? Supporting and enhancing the utilization of digital technology, that can be one measures. Supporting the trade and investment diversification, that is the another one. So these are the 2 things. Okay, the meeting by the trade minister of the 3 countries convened at least once a year. ठीक है, once a year. They will helpful in implementation of CRA as well as consult how to develop the initiative. So both are important. So it is a very good initiative in this perspective, so that any future such event like corona does not get impacted. Okay. Now country of a particular concern. So Chandler Good Government Index 2021 has been released. Okay, Chandler Good Government Index has been released. So this is basically published by Chandler Institute, which is actually a non-profit organization. They have headquarters in Singapore. Okay, their index is actually they index the effectiveness and capability of the 104 government worldwide of the term government capabilities and the outcome. So this index is made up of 34 indicators which are organized on the 7 pillars. Okay? Leadership and foresight, robust law and the policies, strong institutions, financial stewardship, attractive marketplace, global influence and reputation, and helping people rise. Okay, so these are the 7 pillars that is on which 34 indicators are built, and in these 34 indicators we are doing the good governance index. Okay, country of a particular concern like India has been given into it. Okay, India's ranking जो है वो 49th है इसमें. Okay, it is topped by Finland, and Sri Lanka has 74th rank, Pakistan has 90th rank, and Nepal has 92nd rank. So India is actually having a good ranking into it. Okay, so kindly read about it. Now next topic is classical swine fever and sheep pox vaccine. So ICAR, an Indian Veterinary Research Institute, has transferred the technology for classical swine fever and sheep pox vaccine to Hester Bioscience through Agri Innovate India Limited. Okay, so what is this technology? About the technology transfer क्या है ये? बेसिकली ICAR ने क्या किया था, डेवलप किया था दोनों वैक्सीन उसने ही डेवलप किया था, CSF वैक्सीन और सी पॉक्स वैक्सीन. एंड बट टू प्रोवाइड द कमर्शलाइजेशन के लिए दे हैव टू बिल्ड अ सस्टेनेबल PPP मॉडल. ठीक है, तो ICAR ने क्या डिसाइड किया, ICAR और VRI ने डिसाइडेड टू परफॉर्म द टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र. क्या और किसे किया? इन दोनों को किया. इसे किया हेस्टर बायोसाइंस थ्रू एग्रो इंडिया लिमिटेड. तो दिस इज़ एन इंडिजिनस कंपनी, दिस इज़ अ फॉरेन कंपनी. सो इनके कोलैबोरेशन से उन्हें ट्रांसफ़र किया गया है. ठीक है, it will provide the vaccine at the cheaper price and ensure the longer immunity of a livestock. Okay, it is a great game changer for the farmer or the people involved in animal husbandry, because this is one of the major crises that the animal husbandry sector is actually facing. So it is very important. Even the human are actually getting impacted by them also. Okay, so what is classical swine fever? It is known as hog cholera. ठीक है, वायरल डिजीज़ है ये, कंटेजियस वायरल डिजीज़ है. डोमेस्टिक एंड वाइल्ड स्वाइन, दैट इज़ अ पिग, इनमें पाया जाता है. वायरस से बना है. उस वायरस का एक्चुअली नाम है इस कॉज बाय द वायरस ऑफ, जिस वायरस से होता है उसे जेनस पेस्टी वायरस कहते हैं. एंड दिस बिलोंग टू द फैमिली ऑफ फ्लेवी वायराइडी से बिलोंग करता है. हालांकि ये इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, UPSC के लिए इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है कि ये वायरल फीवर है. ठीक है, मोस्ट कॉमन मेथड फॉर द ट्रांसमिशन, जो सबसे डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट की सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया जहाँ से ट्रांसमिशन होता है बिटवीन हेल्दी स्वाइन एंड दोज इन्फेक्टेड विद द CSF वायरस. ओके, ह्यूमन आर नॉट अफेक्टेड बाय दिस वायरस. स्वाइन आर ओनली स्पीशीज नोन एज ससेप्टेबल. ठीक है, दैट इज पिग. डिजीज हैज़ 100% मोर्टालिटी रेट, जिसको हो गया उसकी डेथ पक्की है. ठीक है, इसी के लिए एनिमल में ज़्यादा पाया जा रहा है. अभी इंडिया पे कंसर्न नहीं, ह्यूमन पे कंसर्न नहीं है क्योंकि ह्यूमन को इम्पैक्ट नहीं करता. सो बट वैक्सीन कैन प्रिवेंट दिस स्प्रेड ऑफ द डिजीज. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज शिप पॉक्स डिजीज? इट इज़ बेसिकली हाईली कंटेजियस. ये भी एक वायरल डिजीज़ है. शिप कॉज्ड बाय पॉक्सी वायरस, जिस वायरस से ये होता है उसे पॉक्स वायरस कहते हैं. ठीक है, डिजीज़ मोस्टली मोस्ट सीवियर है of all the animal disease that we are having. सबसे serious severe और most really impacted है. So it is most severe of all the animal pox disease that we have. Okay, it has an economic consequences due to poor wool and leather quality because of this. Now transmission is an aerosol. वायरस इन एरोसल ट्रांसमिशन होता है. and so it can be transmitted via contact with the another infected animal. So फिलहाल इसका no treatment for the Sigfox virus thus affect the direct toward the prevention. इसका एलिमिनेशन नहीं हो सकता है, बस इसका प्रिवेंशन किया जा सकता है. ठीक है. ओके, सो यू काइंडली रीड अबाउट इट. नाउ एग्री नोवेट India Limited is actually a company under Company Act. It is owned by Government of India. It is in the Department of Agriculture, Research and Education. Okay, so it is a kind of a PSU, public sector undertaking. Okay, so it functions as a aim to work to strengthen the DARE Indian ICAR. Okay, and apart from this, further India also promote the development and speedy of the R&D and its outcome through the IPR protection, international property right protection, commercialization and forging the partnership for public benefit. Okay, so this is also there. Now next topic is Python 5. So it is an indigenously developed Tejas aircraft that to be declared carrying 5th generation, that is Python 5 air-to-air missile as a part of its weapon package. Okay, they would move significantly enhance the combat proofs of Tejas aircraft. So it is inducted in the Tejas Python 5. Okay, so kindly remember about this. 5th generation Python 5 in air-to-air missile है, manufactured by Israel का Rafale. ठीक है, इजरायली रफेल एडवांस डिफेंस सिस्टम से मैन्युफैक्चर किया है इससे. ठीक है, इट विल Python 5 मिसाइल वाज फर्स्ट यूज इन लेबनान वॉर in 2006 by the Israel. During the war, it destroyed the 2 Iran's made UAVs. Okay, next is, what is the key feature of the missile? It can be launched at a very short to beyond the visible range. Okay, launch beyond the visible range, and excellent killing capacity है इसकी, resistance capacity ज़्यादा है. P5 Python 5 is also capable for lock on after launch. Okay, that is, this missile has the full spear all direction. ठीक है, attack ability, सारे direction में attack कर सकता है. It also seekers can target area hostile aircraft then lock on for the terminal chase. Okay, it can be changed. Light combat aircraft Tejas, basically it is a single engine 4th generation multi-role light fighter aircraft, actually that is designed by Aeronautical Development Agency, and it was developed in the collaboration with the Hindustan Aeronautical Limited for IAF, Indian Air Force and the Indian Navy. Okay, so Kapoli fault, next topic is Kapoli fault zone. So where it is located, actually Kapoli fault is located, the tremor that we have, that is the earthquake that happened in the recent time in the Assam. The researcher has found that this earthquake of magnitude 6.4 on a Richter scale that hit the Assam, it is on the Kapoli fault, and that is located in Himalayan frontal thrust, that is the eastern part of Himalaya. Okay, so अगर बहुत ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आएगा तो कपोली फॉल्ट पूछेगा कि कहाँ पे है, तो इट बी रिमेंबरिंग इट इज़ इन द ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ द हिमालय. ओके, दैट इज़ फॉल्ट जोन है, 300 किलोमीटर का डिस्टेंस है, और नॉर्थ वेस्ट और साउथ ईस्ट ट्रेंडिंग फॉल्ट है ये, मतलब नॉर्थ वेस्ट से साउथ ईस्ट ऐसे, सॉरी, सो इट इज़ मूविंग लाइक दिस साउथ ईस्ट, इस तरीके का फॉल्ट है ये. ओके, सो असम इज़ एक्चुअली देयर ओवर हियर, अरुणाचल थोड़ा सा ऐसे है. ठीक है, देन वी हैव लाइक दिस, सो दैट इज़ ओके. So it is extended from the west of Manipur to tri-junction of Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Okay. The fault is fault क्या होता है? Fault होता है एक fracture zone होता है, gapping होती है on the two block of the rock, between the two block of the rock. So fault allows the block to move relatively to each other. Okay, the movement may occur rapidly also, form the earthquake, or it may occur slowly also to form the creep. दोनों चीज़ें पॉसिबल है इसमें. केस में. नाउ नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, रेस्ट यू कैन, हिमालय इज एक्चुअली इन द जोन 5, सो हाई सिस्मेटिक जोन है, तो वी शुड बी वेरी कंसर्न अबाउट इट बिकॉज इट इज़ एन इंडियन प्लेट और यूरेशियन प्लेट का सबडक्शन हो रहा है इंडियन प्लेट का यूरेशियन प्लेट के अंदर. सो इट बिकम्स वेरी, और हिमालय इज़ अ यंग माउंटेन, तो इट इज़ एन अनस्टेबल माउंटेन. सो सिस्मोसिटी हाई है, जोन 5 में वो एंटर है, जोन 5 में इम्पैक्टेड है. वहाँ जोन 5 में हमने उसे रखा है. ठीक है. ग्लोबल फॉरेस्ट गोल रिपोर्ट. सो दिस इज़ अ रिपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल अफेयर, ठीक है, दैट इज ऑफ द UN has released the report of global forest goal report. Now what are the finding of this report? So first is world is making progress, so we are actually doing good progress in that. Whatever we have lost, whatever we are losing in that sense, we are actually improving in that sense in the another area. Okay. Increasing the forest area, so forest area is increasing now. There is increasing because of afforestation and restoration के वजह से हम उसको वापस से improve कर रहे हैं. However, COVID-19 has impacted its progress, but it will be overcome in the recent time when the COVID challenges get over. Okay. And one of the major reason also, we are not able to restore our forest, and millions of people are highly dependent, their lifeline is dependent on the basically the forest produce. Because of the pandemic, we are not able to do that, so that the forest is people are getting impacted on that. Now what is the forest report says that it is the first evaluation of global status and implementing global status क्या है, जो UN स्ट्रैटेजिक प्लान ऑफ फॉरेस्ट ने जो इम्प्लीमेंट करना है 2030 तक, उसके ऊपर ये पहली रिपोर्ट है कि उसका स्टेटस क्या है, उसके ऊपर रिपोर्ट आई है. हमें बताता है कि ओवरऑल प्रोग्रेस कितना हुआ है, क्या हमने अचीव किया है सो फार. द प्लान हैज़ 6 ग्लोबल फॉरेस्ट गोल एंड 26 एसोसिएटेड टारगेट. ओके, इन दैट तो 6 इज़ एन फॉरेस्ट गोल, ग्लोबल फॉरेस्ट गोल है, और 26 टारगेट्स हैं इसके अंदर. द रिपोर्ट ड्रॉ अपॉन डेटा फ्रॉम 52 वॉलंटरी नेशनल रिपोर्ट से डेटा मिला है. 19 वॉलंटरी नेशनल कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस हैं इसमें, एंड टुगेदर दे रिप्रेजेंट 75% ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड. ओके, अब लेट्स सी अबाउट जिस प्लान के अंडर ये हो रहा है वो प्लान एक्चुअली में क्या है. सो इट इज़ 14-year प्लान, started in 2017, it will end in 2030. So it is a first ever US strategic plan for forest adopted for a specific session at the specific session of the UN forum on the forest held in 2017. Okay, 2017 में जो था उसे हमने इसे इनिशिएट किया है. So इसमें like I have told you, it has a 6 goal and 26 associated target that is to be implemented, and all these are voluntary in nature and universally applicable. ठीक है, and it also include the target to increase the forest area, that to be increase the forest area by 3% by 2030. Okay, this increase is 120 million hectare area that should be increased twice the size of France. तो उतना हमें एरिया फॉरेस्ट एरिया डेवलप करना है. अब 6 गोल क्या है इसके. पहला गोल है रिवर्स द लॉस दैट वी हैव मेड, रिवर्स द लॉस ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट कवर वर्ल्ड वाइड. तो हमें पहले तो जो लॉस हमने किया है उसे हमें रिवर्स करना है. ठीक है, वर्ल्ड वाइड. सो दिस इज अडॉप्टेड बाय सस्टेनेबल फॉरेस्ट मैनेजमेंट हो, इन प्रोटेक्शन और रिस्टोरेशन, एफॉरेस्टेशन, reforestation, whatever activity including the local practices, we should be doing that. What is the second goal? Enhance the forest based economic, socio environmental benefit. So जो environmental benefits होते हैं, जो livelihood इसके ऊपर dependent है, उसको enhance करना है ज़्यादा, जो forest dependent people हैं उनका. Third goal is increase significantly the area protected forest worldwide, and other areas for sustainable management. So we have also increased the area that are protected, जैसे कि biosphere reserve है, national park है, sanctuaries है. So we have to increase that particular area. हमें और एरिया ऐसे बनाना है ताकि उन पे ज़्यादा impact ना पड़े. Okay, then goal number 4, mobilize significant increase new and additional financial resources from all the sources. So it is, if it is, it should be implemented, that it required a lot of resources, and the funding is huge, funding is required. So funding should be accommodated from any place, either an individual donor, institutional donor, or governmental donor, and UN support, whatever support is possible, that has to be done. The management हो, जरूरी नहीं है पैसा हो, skill management, whatever is possible should be getting that. Partnership हो, collaboration हो, तो all the effort should be incorporated into it. Okay. Goal number 5, promote the governance framework to implement the sustainable forest management. तो गवर्नेंस फ्रेमवर्क जो है प्रमोट करना है, जैसे कि कंट्री को इनिशिएटिव ले रही है तो दैट शुड बी सपोर्टेड. ओके. और बेटर प्रैक्टिसेस कैसे हो सकते हैं वो बताया जाए, या इंडिविजुअल कोई इंस्टीट्यूशन कर रही है तो उसे भी सपोर्ट करें कि उसे बेहतर और कैसे बना सकते हैं. ठीक है. गोल नंबर 6, एनहांस कोऑपरेशन, कोऑर्डिनेशन, कोहेरेंस, सिनर्जी ऑन द फॉरेस्ट रिलेटेड इशू एट ऑल लेवल. सो देयर शुड बी अ कोऑपरेशन, कोऑर्डिनेशन अमंग द नेशंस, अमंग द इंडिविजुअल्स, किसी भी लेवल पे, लोकल, नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल, ग्लोबल, whatever level it is possible, we should encourage that. Okay, enhance the cooperation. So basically, international government, intergovernmental science policy platform biodiversity and ecosystem services has released global assessment report on biodiversity and ecosystem services. Okay, the report highlighted that 1 million species were at the risk of extinction. Okay, and 100 million hectares of tropical forests were lost between 1980 to 2000. So it is a concern. So on this concern, this report, this initiative has been taken. So thank you very much. We will meet you again with the next weekly topic.